Welcome to our weekly program, The Inside Story of Chabad in America through the Mindel Archives. Since today we are entering the month of Tammuz, even though Tammuz and Av are called Chodesh Avelis, months of mourning, Shivoso B'Tammuz begins the 3 weeks and that ends with Tisha B'Av. Nevertheless, by Chassidim, Tammuz became a month of Geula. It's called Chodesh HaGeula. And Yehofich Yomim Elu L'Soseinu L'Simcha, as it says in a place that I saw, I didn't hear it from the Rebbe, but I saw that Shiva when Mashiach will come, Shivasa B'Tammuz will be a Yontif, Tisha B'Av will be the last Yontif, and in the middle it's like Chalamoid. So the 3 weeks will be, Yehofichel will be a Yontif, and Mashiach is born on Tisha B'Av. So by Chassidim, Tammuz became a Chag HaGeula. Before, as a preparation for Mashiach, meaning that just like the Arizal says that on Friday it's a minhag to taste something of Shabbos, Erev Shabbos, it's almost Shabbos, so it's we taste something that we're going to eat Shabbos. The same thing also now, since it's almost the time of Mashiach. So now it's Tammuz B'Hashgacha Protius became a Chag HaGeula because we're tasting something which is going to be very, very soon. And of course that's why we know it's called the 3 weeks, not 21 days. 21 days is negative. 3 weeks is the Torah was given in the third month. 3. We Yidden are Kohen and Levim, Yisraelim, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Yisrael, Veraisa, Kucho, Brichu, and also the Torah Chasidus, Tanya, Yutas, Kislev, is also the 3rd month. Cheshvan, Kislev, Tishrei, Cheshvan, and Kislev. So by Chassidim, it's already now called Chodesh HaGeula, a month of redemption. So here we see B'Hashgacha Protius that Yud Beis Tammuz is the Chodesh HaGeula, is happened on Yud Beis Tammuz, the redemption, and also we see that Gimel Tammuz, the Yom Hilula of our Rebbe, is also B'Hashgacha Protius in the month of Tammuz, Erev de Geula, in the month of Geula. So, since now it's before Gimel Tammuz, I decided yesterday, the Ksavim, all the English letters, and the Hebrew letters that are not printed yet, and Russian letters, hundreds of letters, I took letters that were written in the month of Tammuz. That the Rebbe, it says the date is Tammuz. And I took letters that were written in the date of Yud Beis Tammuz. And I wanted to see what the Rebbe writes on Gimel Tammuz and what the Rebbe writes on Yud Beis Tammuz. Even though it's private letters to answers, but many times the Rebbe mentions certain things that has to do with the day. So, about Yud Beis Tammuz, there's a lot of letters that throughout the 50 years that the Rebbe wrote, the day Yud Beis Tammuz is about Al Yevish Mipnei Hamaligim, and I think I'm going to do this another time. But since it's before Gimel Tammuz today, so I want to share with you the things that were written on Gimel Tammuz, many letters, and the Rebbe not all, but most of the letters has to do with one inyan. He writes about tznius, taras hamishpacha, and shalom bayis. Not all letters, but most of the letters. So I'm going to share with you later on, soon, a letter, the last letter that was written before the stroke, with the Rebbe's handwriting. That's not a printed letter. It wasn't printed, but the Rebbe wrote to somebody, and that was, I think, that's in Tovshin Nun Aleph, Gimel Tammuz. But before that, I want to read to you another letter was written Gimel Tammuz to see that the Rebbe, this is Tznius, Taras HaMishpacha, Shalom Bayis. I guess Gimel Tammuz is before the summer, and in the summer is a time that we have to be careful in Tznius, we have to be careful in Taras HaMishpacha, and that will bring Shalom Bayis. So this is letters of Gimel Tammuz. The Rebbe writes a letter in Gimel Tammuz. He says like this: laws of Jewish family purity have been a great factor of cementing the relationship between husband and wife and preserving the unity of the family. Similarly, children born into such a family are blessed with both physical and mental health, not to mention the spiritual and religious aspect of what observance of the divine commandments meaning to a Jew. This is one letter of Gimel Tammuz. Now, I want to do with you now the last letter that the Rebbe wrote, and that's in Hebrew, but I translated into English the best I can. The last letter that the Rebbe wrote, and it was dated Gimel Tammuz. This is an answer to somebody who told the Rebbe that she does not want to keep Taras HaMishpacha. And she said she was. I'm not going to go into the question that she asked there, but the Rebbe answered on Gimel Tammuz. The last thing that I have, at least, it is totally not understood. Eine muven klal. When it comes to the health of a minor limb of the body or a tooth, benegir lebris everkotten oishein shoyeles das roife. She asks the opinion of a doctor because he learned many years about these matters. Yet, when those who learned matters of Taras HaMishpacha say that this Taras HaMishpacha is primarily related to and affects Shalom Bayis, peace in the house, at home. The health of her entire body and the health of her husband, Sheyichir, and so on. She says it is not so. Even though she well knows she learned nothing regarding Taras HaMishpacha, purity of the family. It is known, the Rebbe says, that there are women who, Rachmana litzlan, do not observe family purity. And it is also known the results over a period of time that they are shy to admit the problems that he underlined they have brought upon themselves, or that they have become so confused to the extent that they do not recognize what is happening to them and the reason for it, God forbid. This is the answer of the Rebbe. And this is, I have here, the last answer written on Gimel Tammuz. There is another letter here of Gimel Tammuz that the Rebbe answered, but the Rebbe answered this also. This was also on Gimel Shvat, but he put a paragraph here on Gimel Tammuz. I don't know why. It is well known that in his dedicated, this is about the Frierdiker Rebbe, his dedicated life for strengthening and spreading Yiddishkeit, he devoted particularly attention to Jewish women and daughters, emphasizing the special role which Jewish women have had in Jewish life historically, and perhaps even more so in this day and age. He therefore, the Frierdiker Rebbe, urged all Jewish women to do their share, particularly in the area of Taharas HaMishpacha. This most basic and vital province of Yiddishkeit has been completely entrusted into the hands of the Akeres Habayis, inasmuch as is decisive in this area, which affects the purity and sanctity and very future of our people. There is surely no need to elaborate to you on this. And this was also written. There's one on Gimel Tammuz. So we see here that on Gimel Tammuz, before the summer, the Rebbe wanted, I guess, because B'Hashgacha Pratis, these letters are in Gimel Tammuz. There's another letter here on Gimel Tammuz. The Rebbe speaks about marriage. It's a whole letter. I don't know if we have time for this. The Rebbe speaks about marriage. So this is a letter of Gimel Tammuz. Now, one more thing. A letter written on Gimel Tammuz. It was written in the Mems in English. Nothing to do with Taharas HaMishpacha. Somebody writes to the Rebbe that since it's Tammuz and he's getting ready to find a job, chinuch job, a teaching job for the coming year, but he wants to teach older bochrim. He doesn't want to teach younger bochrim. He writes it's below him to teach Tinei Shabbat Rabban. Unbelievable. That's how he writes to the Rebbe. The Rebbe answered him very, very sharp letter. I will not go into the answer, but I'll just say one nekuda. That the Rebbe says, if you can say it's below you to teach little children, you should bichlal not be a Baal Mechanech. And that's it. And the Rebbe didn't even give him a bracha. It just reminds me of, I think it was Shimon HaKofer in the time of the Alter Rebbe, that a big Mechanech, a Litvishem, I guess, came to the Alter Rebbe. He says to the Alter Rebbe, I'm a Mechanech, I'm a big Mechanech. So the Alter Rebbe asked him, how do you teach the children, the little children, that Rashi says that when Esav came to take the brachas after Yaakov, it says he saw Gehenim, he felt Gehenim. How would you teach the children? He says, this I don't teach, I skip that. So the Alter Rebbe told him, I don't know, you're not Pikonis, you should go out of here. And he really told him. So here the Rebbe he gave him a very, very sharp answer. So we should know what a Baal Mechanech, a Pasnish, to teach little children. He only can teach Gemara and Teisves. So he doesn't belong to be this is another letter that was on Gimel Tammuz. So since today is before Gimel Tammuz, so I just wanted to share with you these few letters. In Mitzvah next week, we'll continue our weekly program. Thank you.